Well, sometimes parents work non-traditional hours. A Rockford healthcare provider is expanding services to give families more access to childcare. Miriam Niesmeyer shows us the new partnership inside the Patriots Gateway Community Center. And Miriam, some parents say that options like this can really make a big difference.
Daniel, one parent tells me it's sometimes challenging to find childcare around her schedule. Jumping Jacks Learning Center staff say this expanded space could address the lack of flexible childcare options Rockford families face.
I have had problems finding daycare with the hours that jobs want.
For many working parents, finding childcare that matches their schedule can often become a challenge.
I have women my age with children who is losing jobs because they cannot find a daycare facility that has the hours, let alone the space.
After spending more than 30 years working in childcare, Leanne Polk is expanding her business, Jumping Jacks Learning Center, into a larger space inside Patriots Gateway Community Center. The expanded location will serve children from 6 weeks old through 12 years old.
There's such a long waiting list, and there's so many parents that's on the waiting list that's needing daycare. And so if I can ease that a little bit, then I've accomplished something, and I've met a need for the community.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, nearly 16% Americans work non-traditional schedules. This new center plans to operate from 5:30 in the morning until midnight, Monday through Friday.
So if they work second shift, they got that need to pick them up after they get off, take them home. First shift, they can come on in, go to work. So as of now, I think it works out good.
Assistant Director Paula Allen says beyond childcare services, the center will focus on creating an environment where children feel supported while learning.
We believe in diverse learning, diversity to the core. We respect culture, and we are behind them even when they're in the workforce.
Polk says they plan to stay flexible if families need additional options like third shift or even weekend childcare.
Jumpin' Jacks Learning Center officially opens July 1st. Families interested in registration will need to contact Polk directly for more information.